Okay, welcome everybody to our wrap-up call. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me tonight, and congratulations on finishing phase 2 of the detox. Let's go ahead and jump into our program tonight. So I am going to share my screen with you all so you can see the slides. Give me just a second. All right, there we go. Okay, so I am so excited. We're wrapping up the detox portion of the program. Actually, we wrapped it up yesterday. So today was your first day in the transition phase. And this is really a great time to continue to keep track in your food diary, especially of how you feel, because you'll be adding foods back in every 2 days. And so I am going to go through today and explain this next part of the detox for you, how we wrap this up. So if everybody is ready, we will move on. Also, as we go into the final phase of your detox, I want to talk about after the program ends. And so real quick, just want to ask you, what are the goals for your health long term? These could be goals that you hope to jumpstart with this program, with this detox, or new goals that surfaced as you went through. What would your life look like if you achieved all your goals? How would your life be different? How would your life be better? And then which areas of your life have you realized were adding stress to your body and hampering your digestion, your sleep, and your metabolism? This could be particular foods or cravings. This could be negative thought patterns. This could be even just poor habits of self-care. So, and if anybody on the call would like to share their intentions, feel free to type in your answers in the chat box. Or if you'd like, I can unmute you so that you can share in your own words. So just chat in and let me know. I'm going to move on to the next slide while you type in, but I will come back to these comments if you all have any. Like I said earlier, today we're going to go over this transitional phase and prepare you for the week ahead. We need to remember during this phase 1 to refer to the 14 days at a glance for your protocol in phase 3. So that's going to have the foods you're adding in. It's going to have that meal plan for you and show you every day, since we're adding in something new, what the meal should be, or what the meal, if you're not following the recipe guide, what you should model your meals after. 2, keep using your favorite detox support tools. These are going to help lessen any unwanted detox symptoms. 3, continue to fill out your food diary. And 4, you may want to extend phase 2 if you're feeling really good or if you've had digestive issues for a long time. So feel free to repeat this week again or vary things up with different recipes in the guide. Many extend who've had a history of hormonal imbalances, digestive issues, or a need to lose weight. And you have all the tools you need. So feel free to extend that if you want to, and then go into phase 3 on your own timing if you wish. I'm just gonna pause really quick to check and see if we have any chats. Nope. All right, so we can go back into the next slide. So here's what we're going to be doing over this next week. During the final phase, you'll be reintroducing foods that were absent during your detox one by one. So some of those foods on the do not eat list, those ones that were starred, this is the time that we're going to be adding those ones back in. Every day you'll be adding a new food item to your diet. Using your food diary to note any symptoms or reactions is very important during this phase. Transitioning is all about what works for your body. So if you have symptoms of intolerance or feel like you need to extend the phase, please do. Some clients sometimes take a full week to introduce a new food, so don't hesitate to extend this phase as we add back in the foods we took out during phase 2. Here is a list of the foods and the dates you'll be adding them back in. If you have a known allergy to any of these foods, please omit them. Don't try to add those back in. You can choose another food to add in from your do not eat list that's in the fall guide. Also, please remember again to keep track of any symptoms and how you feel after eating these foods in your food diary. It will help you immensely in figuring out if you're sensitive to foods that may be hindering your health. These could be the things that are causing allergies or difficulty with weight loss or bloating, things like that. So you really want to pay attention. So days 8 and 9, which are today and tomorrow, you'll be adding grains back into your diet. So this morning, that was the oatmeal recipe, and then tomorrow you'll have rice with your dinner. On days 10 and 11, that's Wednesday and Thursday, you'll be adding beans back into your diet. Days 12 and 13 are Friday and Saturday, you'll be adding in nuts. And then on day 14, Sunday, you'll be adding in eggs. And again, note that you can extend phase 2 if you need some more time cleansing your body, and you can extend phase 3 if you need to slow down the process of adding foods back in. So if you feel like you want to test out grains for a 3rd or even 4th day before you add the beans in, feel free to do that. Just push back. Instead of Wednesday adding the beans in, do that Friday or whenever you decide. So you can do this at your own pace, and please listen to your body. There's no right or wrong way when it comes to detoxing. Many people do not realize that they're sensitive to foods and have reactions that they may or may not notice. These foods are listed on the Detox Do Not Eat list. Be in tune to how you react to foods during the next 7 days and after the program. So I just want to share a little bit that I have a personal experience with this, as I recently found out that I have several food sensitivities that I've developed from a leaky gut. I had no idea, but once I took those foods out, I lost weight, I lost a lot of tummy bloat, and I even saw better levels in my lab testing, my blood tests. It wasn't until I took these foods out and then tried to add them back in that I realized my body was having a response to them. I never realized before that they were causing things like the tummy bloat and the weight issues until I took them out and added them back in, which is why this phase is just so important. So I hope to soon be able to incorporate them back in as I'm working on healing my gut. But that for me was an eye-opening example of how you may not even realize the level of sensitivity that you have until you take a food out and then try to add it back in, which is why I stress the food journal so much, so that you can be aware of what your body's trying to tell you as you add these foods back in. This is the main point of your transition, learning the foods that don't work well with your body, which is why I'm harping on it so much tonight. The food diary was provided so that you can keep a daily track record of what you're eating with the foods we're adding back in and how they make you feel. So if you haven't already, please use the food diary provided, or you could even purchase a journal or keep track of it digitally or even in a note on your phone and reflect on how that makes you feel, both emotionally and physically. Some foods like dairy, eggs, and grains are known as high allergen foods that many people are sensitive to. Consuming foods you're sensitive to causes digestive upset and imbalances, and it can wreak havoc on your overall health. So here is what you need to know about food sensitivities. They can take anywhere from 2 to 20 days after eating the food to show symptoms. So that is why we wait 2 days on this transition phase before adding in a food, but that's why I also say that you can wait a few more days if you feel like you need to. So if there's one that you suspect might be an issue for you, you might want to wait more than the 2 days. Food sensitivities present less threatening symptoms, so things like gas, bloating, rashes, digestive upset, headaches, joint pain, anxiety, that sort of thing. You would not have an anaphylactic response or immediately life-threatening response to a food sensitivity. And so this is why it's important to track your progress in the food diary. Pay attention to your symptoms so you can create your healthy blueprint for your body and find out which foods are fueling you and which foods are not. So that's food sensitivity. And then there's food intolerance. So this is slightly more serious to a sensitivity, and a complete intolerance would be for an allergen. So food tolerance is usually a more immediate response, whereas the sensitivity can take 2 to 20 days to show symptoms. The food intolerance is usually more immediate, presents obvious symptoms Again, similar to the sensitivity, but they'd be more immediate. The gas, the bloating, diarrhea, constipation, headache. So a little more internal digestive distress. They're also not anaphylactic or life-threatening responses, and it does not involve the immune system or any antibodies. So some common intolerances are like to dairy. We often call that lactose intolerance. And then if you have a gluten intolerance, that is what celiac disease is, as opposed to gluten sensitivity, which would not be the same level. What to do if you have a reaction. If your body reacts to a food, then omit this food for 7 days and then try to reintroduce again. So you want to give your gut another 7-day break before trying to reintroduce it. Also keep in mind that so many factors influence digestion, such as stress, food combining, menstrual cycles, hormones, adrenal health. Your gut just may not be ready to handle this food yet, so try to avoid it and then reintroduce it later when you feel you're ready or when you've stopped having some of those symptoms. That can mean it's fully out of your system. And then even after that, you might want to give yourself a couple days just to let your gut heal before you try to reintroduce it again. So let's talk a little bit more about the gut for a second. Many people suffer from digestive upset somewhere along their gastrointestinal tract, whether it's higher up, like acid reflux, indigestion, or lower down, constipation, diarrhea, stomach cramps. What causes these symptoms? Often a diet high in sugar, a diet high in processed foods, a diet low in needed minerals and healthy fats, or years of taking antibiotics or birth control. That can really mess with your gut too. So if you can relate to any of these, even a little bit, you probably want to check in with your gut health and see what you can do to support that. Which leads us to our next slide. We are going to get into an understanding more of what your body is going to be going through during this final transition phase. So like I was saying, it's really important to maintain a healthy gut, and how you build your gut health are through things like cultured vegetables, which support weight loss. They help reduce cravings and they help to avoid constipation. I suggest starting with 2 tablespoons of cultured vegetables with your meal and then slowly increasing by a tablespoon until you reach a 1/4 cup at each meal. Some of my suggestions for cultured vegetables: Inner Eco makes a great probiotic drink. It contains an average of 100 billion active probiotic cultures per serving, so really high, really great probiotic content. You can find this drink at Wegmans or Whole Foods. Another one is coconut water kefir. You can make this yourself, homemade. It's pretty simple, and you can look up for directions online, or I could even get you instructions. If you are interested, just contact me. But you can also buy it at the store, and one of the brands I recommend is Kavita. Also, another option is coconut milk, almond, or any unsweetened and dairy-free yogurt. Coconut milk kefir or any non-dairy kefir. Body Ecology diet probiotic drinks. Bubby's Cultured Foods, available in your local market or local health food store. Kombucha, although you may want to avoid kombucha if you have a candida issue. Candida is a yeast overgrowth, and so sugar is used in the fermentation process, and if you drink the kombucha before the sugar is fully eaten out, then you can be feeding that candida in your gut. So that's one that you may just want to avoid if you know that you have candida. And then a high quality probiotic supplement, which you can purchase at doTERRA. I think I mentioned this in the kickoff call. doTERRA has a great probiotic supplement, or you can also do your research and find a high quality one on Amazon, Vitacost, local health food store, that sort of thing. I suggest choosing a probiotic with at least 15 to 50 billion colony forming units, also called CFUs. All right, so the detox support tools below or on the slide here, we've been doing through phase 2. but they're also really great for easing any symptoms as you transition through phase 3 as well. Detoxers to give some of them a try if you haven't already. You can find more in your guide, but I really like these 3. The first is tongue scraping. I suggest scraping your tongue daily. It removes the mucus and toxic buildup in your mouth that hides in those little crevices on your tongue. You can do this before or after brushing your teeth. You just use your tongue scraper or a spoon to reach as far back as possible and pull forward, scraping off the white film on your tongue. By tongue scraping every morning, you are removing bacteria that lead to poor digestion and liver stagnation. So really great for you. Skin brushing is also awesome. Your skin is the largest detox organ, and it's sometimes referred to as the third kidney. The skin is vital for healthy detoxification, and skin brushing can decrease the toxins in your body by up to 25%, which I think is pretty amazing. I dry skin brush every morning before my shower, and you can purchase a skin brush too at Whole Foods or on Amazon. You can use a dry towel. I think even like Bath and Body Works has them. You probably can find them anywhere these days. And then the third one is rebounding. Rebounding has been proven to be effective for lymphatic drainage. So my suggestion is rebounding for 15 minutes per day. And you can find great rebounders still in the box on Craigslist or purchase them on Amazon. And just one brand that's a great one is Urban Rebounder. Another way to support your body is through maintaining a healthy balance of alkalinity. A poor diet or consuming too many acidic foods can weaken the cells and lead to an acidic body. This leads to mineral loss and creates the perfect atmosphere for leaky gut and inflammation. By adding alkaline foods such as raw vegetables and juices to our diet, we remove the acid wastes and have more energy and healthy cells. So some other ways you can alkalize your body: eat more greens and water-rich foods such as fruits and vegetables. Add lemon and lime to your water. You can add the slices of lemon and lime, or you can also add lemon essential oil or lime essential oil, or both if you really like the flavor. Drink coconut water and green juices or superfood greens in your water. Add sprouts to your diet. Add sea vegetables to your diet. So hopefully you're seeing a theme here. Greens are really great for balancing alkalinity in your body. Also breathe deeply, reduce stress. That just helps. You're not holding all that in. Just let it go and release it, and that helps to balance your body as well. All right, I'm just going to check real quick, make sure there are no comments or questions. All right. None so far. You guys are quiet tonight. All right, lastly, learning how to properly combine foods is important if you want to decrease belly bloat, indigestion, and lose weight. If you are combining too many foods improperly at once, it can slow down digestion, leading to less energy. When you eat foods that require different digestive enzymes or pH levels, your natural enzymes get confused and bloating occurs, not to mention poor assimilation. And if you have poor assimilation, then you're not energized. So some examples of food combining: water. Always drink 1 glass 15 to 20 minutes before a meal to ensure hydration and aiding in digestion. If you are having the cranberry cleanser with your snack, try and have that 15 minutes before, so spacing them out a little bit. Try not drinking too much during your meals, as this flushes your natural digestive enzymes. So you want the water before your meal, 15 to 20 minutes before, but not during, because that just dilutes your stomach and the digestive enzymes that are in your gut to help digest your food and break it down. Second, eat fruit alone. Fruit digests itself, passing through the digestive system within 20 minutes. So by eating fruit alone, you avoid fermentation occurring in your belly. Fermentation can lead to gas, rob you of energy, and slow down your digestion. So fruit is best eaten on an empty stomach. Third, eat starches with vegetables. Foods such as baked potatoes, sweet potatoes, or sweet corn should be eaten alone with a vegetable or with a small amount of fat. It's advised to eat starches such as quinoa, buckwheat, brown rice, millet, or amaranth with vegetables, as starches require different digestive enzymes than proteins. And then eat protein with vegetables. So unlike starches, proteins require an acidic environment for ideal digestion, and it's best to eat protein with vegetables and a healthy fat. When you add a starch, you force your body's natural enzymes to compete to digest your food. So hopefully that makes sense. Basically, you can eat starches with vegetables and protein with vegetables. You just don't want to mix the protein and starches together. All right, after the program. Food is your vitality. Your thoughts either feed and nourish you, or they deplete you. Over the past couple weeks, we've taken a lot of measures toward healing our bodies, and in order to maintain the progress we've made, it's important to continue making healthy decisions every day. So as you begin to slowly introduce foods, introduce what you've learned also into the rest of your life. Pick a daily support tool or two that you can continue using post-program. And if you begin to feel a food is irritating your body after the program, try removing it for 7 days, then reintroduce using the same principles you've learned over the last 7 days. Along with making healthier decisions, there are plenty of ways you can make the positive and healthy changes from this program last a lifetime. Some of those ways are: 1, plan to detox seasonally or periodically. 2, take time to do the support tools you learned during your detox. 3, commit to physically removing unwanted toxins in your everyday life. And 4, take time for yourself to relax and evaluate how you feel. Okay, so that pretty much wraps things up. If you have any questions about any of this, but particularly the phase 3 transition part that I haven't answered yet, now is the time to ask them. There should be a chat bar for you all if you're on the computer. I'm not sure about if you're tuning in from your phone, but you should be able to ask questions there. And I'll hang on for just a couple more minutes and answer any questions you might have before signing off for the night. Thank you all again for joining me. Best of luck as you transition to phase 3. As always, I'll be available for you next week if you have any questions. And I'll be going through this transition phase with you. I'll be a little modified for my food sensitivities. Another note is that I know some of you haven't scheduled your free post-detox consultation with me yet. So use the contact info on this slide here to get in touch with me and schedule that. You can also reach me through our Facebook group if that's easier for you, or just text me or whatever's easiest. During that post-detox session, we will go over the victories you've had during your program and how to help set you up to continue to have those victories once the program finishes. We'll also talk about your struggles and kind of troubleshoot some of the best ways for you to overcome them. And then if there are any goals you had for this program that you weren't able to hit, we can talk about those too and how it can help you to make sure you meet them. All right, so that pretty much wraps things up. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Nope, looks like everybody's good. Hopefully that means this was all straightforward and easy for you to understand. So yeah, I think that's a wrap. Thanks everybody for your time, for showing up here tonight, and good luck with phase 3.